Okay, so this is Streets of Rage. Uh, no, don't load save data. But anyway, so this was a hassle getting set up because I haven't played remotely so long and probably because I went to Windows 11, which is awful. I am probably gonna waste a bunch of special attacks, man, because I just don't remember any of the buttons mapped out to the Xbox One controller. Yeah, Xbox One. Okay, so X is the special attack, most likely. A is to punch, B is to jump. So anyway, yeah, Windows 11. I don't know who Windows hired to work to design it and get it running, and I use "get it running" in quotes because it's awful. But all I can think of is I shudder to think what will happen when Windows 12 eventually comes out. Um, I held out until Windows 10 lost its support. Oh, it was going to lose its support. Like the last day is how long I kept my laptop on Windows 10. So, like the first 2 weeks I was on Windows 11, I'm like, uh, I never had. Now I've used Windows a long time. Uh, Back like the Windows 3.1 that came out before Windows 95. I used that. I don't think I have actually used Windows 95, at least at home, but I know my grandfather had it back then. Uh, and I don't remember him having any problems with Windows 95. But I've done that. I've used that. Think I've used XP and Vista, but I don't think I've used 7 or 8. And then I used 10. Oh my God. I would have rather gone back to any version of Windows, not just 10. When Windows 11 is like the most un or at least it was the most unresponsive thing for like the next 2 weeks. Every time I use my computer, I wanted to pull my hair out when using Windows 11. And I'm not saying any of this, trying to embellish or anything. That's just how I felt as someone who's used Windows basically all his life. Um, Unfortunately, it fits Windows model. Seeing how the Xbox division is handled, looks like they're basically it looks like they're the same idiots that make decisions for Xbox make decisions about the rest of the company. Maybe not Phil Spencer per se, but if it's someone different, it's not anyone smarter. I'll say that. Um, yeah, so yeah, that was my first couple of weeks using Windows 11. But it was just a hassle getting this set up again. I haven't I haven't streamed gameplay in a long time. Um, I am going to start using my Twitch again for longer style games, but games that are like beat 'em up, that's like 30, 40 minutes. It's going to be a pre-recorded video. Um, it'd be a shame if I didn't talk about Streets of Rage um, the whole time I play it. Just is there anything else I want to say about Windows first? I think I covered all the bases. My laptop is running operational now. Um, you could even say part of it was my fault because I the whole time I had Windows 10, I wasn't doing. Why would I get 11 Windows 11 updates? Any updates that came in for 10, yeah, downloaded them when I went to sleep, let the laptop install them while I was asleep, you know, and it's did its thing. But I also needed updates when I just switched to 11, and without the updates, like I said, borderline, barely operational. And this isn't some. I guess I'm going to continue talking about Windows just because it's on my mind. I don't know if uh, you would expect a company like Windows that's been around since like the early 90s, as far as I know. It's probably been around longer than that, but at least since the early 90s, because like I said, Windows 95 was their second um, operating system. You would expect a company that's been around, that's almost as me, you'd expect them to work or know how to work. This isn't some startup company that released their first operating system. But anyway, those were my frustrations trying to get Windows 11 to work. Um, it does now. Um, but other reasons besides just like the stability of the system that I don't like Windows 11. Um, one is the uh, well, first off, they got rid of WordPad, and that's what I use most of the time. I use it a whole lot more than Notepad. Now, Notepad stayed free, but if you want something like WordPad, you had to pay for a Microsoft Office subscription. And like everything I have on my laptop that's a document is a WordPad. It's very few things are Notepad. But so what I did, because I didn't pay for an Windows Office subscription, I did find something like LibreWord, I think it's called, and that I was able to download it for free. And not only does it let you do word processing documents like WordPad, it also lets you do spreadsheets like Excel, but you don't have to pay for Excel. You don't have to pay for to do spreadsheets in LibreWord. So I don't like that. They got rid of Xbox Console Companion. Now I have to use Xbox itself, the program, if I want to stream gameplay from my Xbox One to my laptop. Um, so that was a pain in the ass. Okay, I might actually beat this tonight because I never changed the difficulty. I did tonight, but I didn't expect it to be this easy. I guess, or maybe just because I played on normal so long. But speaking about the game, I'm this might be just uh like a familiarity thing, but I'm a bigger fan of Final Fight. Now, I never played two or three, so if two or three are not that good, I've never played them. The only ones I played are Final Fight and Final Fight CD. And I'll say Final Fight CD is one of the reasons to get an old Sega CD because you get all three playable characters in the CD version. You get two-player co-op in the Sega CD version. Um, yeah, so, but growing up, I never. Well, I had a Sega Genesis. It was like my Super Nintendo games had like I had 30 of them, and my Sega Genesis I had like 10 of them. Just I preferred Super Nintendo if a game was multi-platform. So I had Sega for like I think hockey, Wayne Gretzky's 3D hockey. I had Sonic Hedgehog 2, obviously. Um, what else did I have for Sega Genesis? Beavis and Butthead on Sega Genesis instead of Super Nintendo. General Chaos, Animaniacs. Um, I'm trying to think, and that was pretty much it. That's all I can remember. Oh, NBA Jam Tournament Edition. How can I forget that? Um, but yeah, back to Final Fight CD. Like I said, you get all three players: Guy, Cody, Hagar. You get two-player co-op, and more enemies appear in a two-player game than a one-player game. Um, they don't have they have the female henchwomen, Poison, and I forget. I think the other one was named Roxy. They have those because they were taken out of the Super Nintendo version and changed. Um, I just see how little health I have. So yeah, if anyone ever says like Sega CD doesn't have any good games, Final Fight CD is one of them. That is good and worth getting the system for. And honestly, another Sega CD game that I'll um, talk about, or at least recommend, Sewer Shark, the pack-in Sega CD game. If you now, I hated it as a kid, but once you learn how to play it, it's awesome. Just focusing right here, so excuse my silence. As for other Sega CD games, just off the top of my head, Sonic CD, obviously. Can't go wrong with Sonic. Um, on home consoles anyway. At least not at this point, because then I'm the first game that jumped in my head when I said you can't go wrong with Sonic on home consoles was Sonic 06. Oh yes, you can go wrong with Sonic 06. So I mean, I never played it, and I have absolutely no intention of ever playing it. I never even owned it. But let's see, Sonic CD, Sewer Shark. What else would I recommend? My Sega CD list is really short. Um, like I said, when I had 10 Sega Genesis games growing up, I had like five Sega CD, and not even all of them I would recommend. Um, I guess Eternal Champions Challenge from the Dark Side, just because you get more characters than the Genesis version. So if you like fighting games and like the deaths they had, like I think if you killed the circus performer, if you beat her on the side that had the lion cage, she'd actually fall in the lion cage, and the lion would be chomping its teeth at the end, and blood would be coming out. So, I mean, I want to say Who Shot Johnny Rock one of those gun games, which I didn't know was a gun game, but makes sense why I was sucking so much with the controller. Um, which you can play games like Who Shot Johnny Rock, but it's just you're gonna die a lot until you memorize where enemies are gonna show up, and then you gotta realize you just can't shoot the enemy anyway. You gotta shoot the gun out of their hand. But I wouldn't recommend Who Shot Johnny Rock. You could try it if you want it just out of curiosity, but keep in mind it's unless you have the like gun peripheral, it's like playing a gun game, but you're moving the cursor with your controller. So, um, and really, the only other one I can think of is Dracula. Um, I played that long after I grew up, but it was like, it's not such a bad side scroller. I thought. Oh, might as well use it again since I got it again because I died. But anyway, so I'm gonna do. What I'm gonna do. I think is um, probably not so many articles that I've been doing, or well, I really shouldn't call them articles. Not so many videos about gaming news or gaming updates, uh, but still do them, obviously. But I'm gonna try to get back into like let's playing, and for longer games, gonna stream them and get back on Twitch. Speaking of which, the next time I do a let's play, I don't know if I, or next game I play will be Tropico 4. Uh, that'll be uh, that'll be on my first return back to Twitch because I haven't been on Twitch really since we stopped the podcast. Me and Dr. Games 101, who, as far as I know, is unfortunately no longer around. Rest in peace, Dr. Games 101. Because what happened is, I'll explain what happened. Um, the whole podcast and then ending and everything. He came to me February 1st, and he wanted it, and he's like, "Look, dude, I know I'm bringing this on you all of a sudden, but I want to stop the podcast." He's like, "I'll do it tonight because we have an episode tonight, but tonight's my last episode." It was just burnout. We did it for 4.5 years. We put a lot of work into it and just got very little in terms of um, donations or really even support. Um, at least during the live part on Twitch. Um, so it was burnout basically. Now I had felt the same way. I didn't tell him that, but every time that thought came to me, I was like, you know what, Doctor Games 101 really enjoys the podcast. One time he even came to me privately or said to me privately online. He's like, "Thank you for convincing me to be a, a permanent co-host, not just a guest. Thank you for." He said that to me one time, so I figured he was enjoying it. I'm obviously not gonna just stop something, especially if he wants it to continue. But anyway, February 1st, 2025. So he said that, and I'm like, dude, if you really burned out, we don't even have to do this last episode. I wanted to stop. What I wanted to do, what I do now, um, in my spare time, is the gaming news videos. Um, I did one actually about the new Jaws game coming out. I do have one ready to record about the Red Dead Redemption update for I think 360 or three or Xbox One. I'm not. There's an update coming out for Red Dead Redemption, the original. Um, I think if you purchased it digitally. So, but the thing is, so he wanted to stop, and I said, all right, I'm gonna go into the gaming news videos that I do now. Um, I don't think he understood me because, like, when I told him what I was gonna do instead, because I didn't want to do a podcast by myself. That would have been a nightmare. But what? So I did the, but I still wanted the segments like the gaming news that I do now. So Dr. Games 101 made that video on his YouTube about us putting the podcast on hiatus. And at February 20th is the last time Dr. Games 101 posted anything on his Facebook. And right before that, he had posted like in the I don't even know how many days apart these posts were, but he had posted gameplay for him playing Dante's Inferno. Well, um, so February 20th was the last time he posted on anything on his Facebook, even with him doing gameplay and everything. Oh, I thought that was the boss. Okay, well I got one more. Um, on March 10th, and I didn't know this until months afterwards because I didn't read what other people posted on Dr. Games 101 Facebook. I just read what he posted. Um, so I never heard from him on my birthday. I figured he's just busy. Maybe he's found a job or a part-time job or something, or maybe he just hasn't been able to contact me and wish me a happy birthday. And he always also gave me money when he had it, like, you know, 15, $20, whatever it was. Um, and he's also bought me a couple games. Oh, so that's it. No continues, just the lives. Okay. So anyway, I'm gonna finish. Oh, there it continues. Never mind. That was that's weird. I'm not used to a high score unless it's over. It's over. So anyway, he hasn't posted since February 20th. He never contacted me on my birthday in April, which is out of character. That should have been my first clue something was wrong. But 2025 has been a really bad year for me too. Um, besides, um, besides losing Doctor Games 101. Um, so Dr. Games 101's completely silent on his Facebook. Me and a bunch of people, because like I said, I didn't know he had passed away. He we posted Me and a bunch of his friends posted messages for his birthday at the end of August. Um, and I was doing I was doing a video about The Sims 4's newest fiasco, which was the imaginary friends that can turn into imaginary poltergeist. Um, and how these imaginary friends can't just be deleted. And since me and Dr. Games 101 wagged on The Sims 4 for 4.5 years, every time they released an update, um, someone actually asked, I guess because I brought Dr. Games 101 up in the video, as, hey, we used to make fun of The Sims 4 when they released an update on the podcast, so we'll do it. Um, so I'll do it now. That's when I read what other people had posted on Dr. Games 101 Facebook. And the message that I didn't, how do you beat this enemy? The message I didn't read, someone posted on March 10th, was a remembrance message, basically saying, wow, I just heard what happened. I didn't really know the guy. I've seen him because we live in the same apartment complex a couple times. Rest in peace. And when I saw that, that's when it hit me. Like, I'm never gonna see him. I'm never gonna see or hear from Doctor Games 101 again. Um, so, but you know what? Uh, it did make me think of something. The We did probably even more, but we did at least like 115 episodes of the podcast. I know Doctor Games 101 missed one, but Doctor Games 101 Patreon is free, and you can get every podcast we did together. Like I said, there's at there's over 100 episodes, definitely 115, maybe even a few more that we did together, and you can listen to them because they were all on his Patreons. Patreon's been set to free, so you can basically listen to every podcast of his or of ours that we did together. Um, and it just sucks because that's like the only time I'll hear when we were ragging on games or praising games that look promising or whatever. Um, we do have some Let's Plays. Some Let's Plays I lost because they were exclusive on Daily Motion, and because of South Park: The Stick of Truth, Daily Motion closed down my old account. So like the videos of me and him playing like Super Mario Brothers 3, um, that's gone. The video of us playing WWF Raw on the Xbox, that's gone. And uh, Doctor Games 101 has some also. I think I still have the ones on YouTube when we played like Saints Row 4 together. Um, it's still hard to talk about. Um, so just bear with me. Um, yeah, so I mean, we still got plenty of videos of us playing games together. Um, well, not plenty, but there's still some. Some we didn't just record. Sometimes we just played on Xbox Live. Like I think we were playing what was it? Halo. I think Halo, the Master Chief Collection. We were playing the multiplayer map. Um, so there's some like there's the podcast, but like obviously the podcast never coming back. Um, I just really miss Doctor Games 101 because he's the friend. We known each other since junior high, eighth grade. We graduated high school same year, 2005, and like he's one friend from school, or was the one friend from school that I talk to the most. A lot of friends. Sometimes when you grow up, you just uh, you just lose contact, and it's not anything meant to happen. It just sometimes it does. A lot of friends I grew up with, or even that I hung out in my adult life, I don't talk to as much as I uh, wish I had the chance to. And just so anyway, he's one that it's funny. When I moved away from New York, we actually became even uh, even though we were 1,000 miles apart. It's like our friendship became stronger because we were always talking on Xbox or or online somehow. Um, and just yeah, I don't know how to finish that. Just obviously, I've watched some of Doctor Games 101's update videos, like especially the last one when we decided to call it quits on the podcast, and um, he left it open ended, like yeah, the podcast isn't going away forever. We'll bring it back eventually. Well, now that's not going to happen. Um, you know, and like I said, since he was one of the friends I was closest with, because we talked all the time, you know, it all I can say is it still hurts. Uh, but also, like I said, I didn't know what happened until months later. So yeah, how many levels are in the original Streets of Rage? Uh, so what else? What else to talk about? I guess I'll talk more about Final Fight. I've actually never beaten Final Fight. Oh, also another difference between the Super Nintendo version and the Sega CD version. First off, Sega CD has a survival mode if you just want to see how many guys you can beat up before you lose all your health. That's exclusive to the Sega CD version. Also, on the Sega CD version of Final Fight, called Final Fight CD, the options menu is right there on the title screen. The same option menu is in the Super Nintendo, but you have to know the code for the Super Nintendo port to access the option menu. But I've never beaten Final Fight, the first one at all. I've come close with Hagar. I always chose Guy or Cody when I was younger, but like I realized Hagar, yeah, he's slower, but he's more powerful. So he packs more of a punch. He packs his moves have a bigger impact on enemies. So that's. But I've never beaten Final Fight. But to be fair, I've never beaten Streets of Rage. But this might be the first night. So just thinking about what else to talk about. Oh, okay. This looks like I might lose a couple lives just between these enemies. Yeah, you never want to let them get on both sides of you. I don't think in either game. Whoa! Oh, I pressed X by mistake. I thought when that happened, of course it's going to reach all the way up there. When that happened, I thought they threw me off, and I was going to go all the way down to the ground. I'm like, I didn't know that could happen. No, it was the camera was going down there because I used a special attack. I was about to say, thankfully I'm recording that because if they could throw you off the elevator like that, this has to be like the last level, right? Oh, wonderful. So anyway, some games that I'm playing and some games that I'm going to be streaming, some will be started over from the beginning. Some I'll just start where I'm currently at. That's going to be a case by case basis. Which Tropico 4, I have a level. I have a video of me beating the first scenario because for those who don't know, Tropico 4 is basically like a island simulator. You build your own you build your own island. Um, the video of me doing the first one is still up, so I don't have to. Thankfully, I don't have to delete my data, so I can just play the second level. Although in off stream, I'm up to like the eighth level. A boomerang, well, I don't have the beer bottle anymore. Put 'em up, put 'em up, put 'em up. Oh, okay. The tables can affect the henchmen too. Oh, that fight where we filled my health, no matter how far, much down it was. But I should probably try to attack those tables when they come by because it's probably got health or something that could refill my health. So yes, like I said, some games I'm restarting from scratch, some I won't. Um, as I play those games on stream, I'll um I'll make decisions as I introduce them. So, and I really don't have a schedule. Um, it's just okay. My last continue. I really don't have a schedule for this. It's just on nights I can, basically, because I do work 6 days a week. Uh, so that's also going to play into it. But like I said, it's going to be a night by night thing. If I can do it, if I have the time to record or do a stream, then I will. And if I can't, oh well. Just have to hold off till the next day when I can. But like I said, the gaming news that's not going anywhere. That I'm still going to do that. Although three a day, um, it wouldn't be possible along with the Let's Plays streams. But I'm gonna try to do at least one a day, two if I have the time. Does Streets of Rage have like any level restrictions for easier levels, like uh, Double Dragon 2: The Revenge on Nintendo? Um, you had to play on the hardest difficulty if you want to play all the levels, because like the normal difficulty, I think it left out like the last two and the uh, and the easiest difficulty. Oh, I don't have any more special text. The easiest difficulty was just the first three. Okay. How am I going to beat Karnov here? How do you. And I don't have special text, so okay, I might not beat this. What do you do? I don't even know how. Do you just have to get them when you have to get behind them? Hey, he doesn't have a life bar, so oh, that's how you know his life bar was. Oh, this is still going? I thought that was going to be the end of it. Okay, so what what awaits behind this door? Oh, don't know yet. I only got one extra life. As we established, no continues left, so okay, last life. Oh no, that's it. That was my last life. Okay. I thought I had one more with hit zero, but okay, so I did not beat Streets of Rage this time. Um, yep. So this was me playing Streets of Rage. I hope you enjoyed this. Uh, give me a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any gaming news videos or videos like this. Because even if I stream on Twitch, I will upload the clip to YouTube, provided that I can. Um, because sometime because I don't know if there's any changes on Twitch's platform since I haven't used it in almost a year. Um, so yeah, so subscribe to me on YouTube, ring the notification bell, and tell me what you think about Streets of Rage. Tell me what you think about Final Fight or anything else that I talked about. Um, until next time, which will be Tropico 4. Good night, everyone.